こマシマシなんですが、よかったらこっちも食べてみますか？夢のお告げ通り、うさぎに頬を舐められ。
Danmachi, season 5, episode 2. This was a fantastic episode, and honestly, at the end of the road, this might be like in like top 10, I would say top 10 episodes of Danmachi ever. This is obviously vastly different than a lot of the other episodes that we typically get, especially the ones that would be in the top 5 are probably the ones that are more action oriented and the ones that kind of like balls to the wall, like Belle versus the Minotaur or something like that. Is like, those are different types of episodes. This was definitely just a hilarious episode. Just Belle interacting with the elf dude and him being put through gentleman boot camp was just hilarious. And this episode also featured my favorite girl, the best girl, Cassandra. Now, prior to last season, Cassandra has always been my number one. Ever since there was like that whole little pillow scene, I don't know if you guys remember, but generally she was kind of already my favorite. But then there was like that pillow moment where she went and she finally had Belle believe her for the first time, and she was like, I had a vision that my pillow's in there, and Belle believed her. He's like, he went and he found her pillow for her, and ever since then she's just like been like top girl for me. Even over Eyes, even over Hestia, even over Haruhime, all of them, she's always been best girl. Again, that is until last season where I think Ryu kind of took her spot just a little bit. So yeah, I mean, the fact that we got some Cassandra fan service, some Cassandra love, like, yeah, I was all about it this episode. So this episode was fantastic. And honestly, I don't think I've laughed as much as I did this episode, any other episode of Danmachi ever. Like, I was just dying from laughter. From the moment where, he was eating with Cassandra and he was eating down like the little crepe or whatever it is. And internally he was like, and externally he was like, he's like, you want some? And he kind of grabbed her hand and just like, ugh. Even Daphne was like, it was just amazing. And the whole time the elf dude behind him is just like, he has in his hands just like lightning, like don't mess it up. And then the moment where Belle's inside of the dungeon, he just flashing smiles to the girls like are you okay? Like, it was just hilarious. And then at the end, because he over flirted, he over seduced, he gets just incinerated. It was just so funny. So it's just such a hilarious episode. And I just really enjoyed watching it. And I even had like funny moments. Like, I even had like a lot of laughs where, Hestia, like the girls, like the Ryu and the girls at the restaurant or the tavern or whatever, they roped in Hestia and Haruhime and the whole group to go and, help them as like part-time workers so they can go and basically spy on Seer. And Hestia was just dropping plates and just dropping this and messing up that and falling, and they kick her ass out, and then she ends up running into Eyes. But right before that, Eyes has her moment. Eyes, what's her name? Has her moment where she was like, yo, Belle, she's like looking at him. She's like, yo, why is he dressed like that? Why does he look like that? Why is he holding her hand? Why is she holding him? Is this a date? And then Seer comes in like, oh, darling. She's like, she just starts barreling in. I don't even know if she's eating croissants. She just starts barreling in food because she doesn't know how to react to the situation, because she's just that like socially awkward. She doesn't know how to like process stuff. And then she just agrees later on when Hestia is like, oh, we got to go find Belle and we got to go ruin their day. She's just like, okay. And she just kind of like goes with it, you know what I mean? Because that's what she wants. So good. Just so good. So yeah, everything this episode was fantastic. Freya just, giving Belle the love eyes and him being like, oh my God, he'd be like, oh, he got the heebie-jeebies, just everything about this episode was just fantastic. Now, the one thing I will say, under all the fantasy, all the really good stuff here this episode, which it was just absolutely, like, this is like a 9.5 out of 10 episode to me. Like, I thought it was awesome. But underneath all of that, though, is the main kind of plot point. And I started saying this last week, and I just don't really care about Seer. Like, whatever plot they have cooking with her being some goddess candidate or some muse or some saint or whatever her role is among the Freya familia. I was like, my mind went blank. Right, Freya familia, right? Yeah, but behind the Freya familia, I just don't care. I just like, she's a fine character, but if I were to rank her, right, like, again, for me, I think it's Ryu number 1, Cassandra number 2, probably Haruhime. Maybe after that, we have Makoto. You know, maybe right after Makoto, maybe I throw in Eyes. What's her name? But then maybe it's Hestia as well, and then Freya, that ED. I mean, I think she's up there now. But you know what I mean? It's just like, out of the female characters, I just don't care about her. Like, I'd rather Hermes and weird glasses girl get more screen time than her. Like, I just don't really care about Seer, nor do I kind of really care about this story. Now, don't get me wrong. I am invested in Freya and what she's going to do and how she's going to pursue Belle and how she's going to screw over Hestia, and like, she's an evil one, and that excites me. So I am interested in that, like, what's gonna happen, like, but like the Seer stuff herself, I just don't know. And the episode ends with her asking to be saved because, you know, again, this just reminds me of the stuff that occurred with Haruhime when Belle had to go and rescue her, and the same vibes. I feel like it's following like that same plot again. It's just, you know, substitute Haruhime for Seer and substitute her being like, you know, like a slave and everything that happened to Haruhime. Substitute that with Seer and her goddess candidate, whatever is going on there, and substitute the, you know, whatever the familia with the goddess that died, you know, substitute that familia for the Freya familia. Like, I just feel like we're retelling a similar story. It's like, ugh. Like, I rather go back to the dungeon, you know, once again, or maybe just focus on, you know, more building of the Hestia family, or I don't know. It's hard to say, you know, but I rather like the focus just kind of change a little bit, or, you know, maybe we get Eyes' familia, you know, and I don't know. I just like the plot line, the storyline is fine, but like, I just feel like it's like we're just wash, rinsing, and repeating. We're just telling the same kind of story with a different character, you know, once again with Belle. For Seer to just be part of the harem, you know, basically, instead of like, you know, he's not going to pursue real romance with anything. But he did almost admit his that he's in love with Eyes this episode, so I thought that was pretty cool. So, yeah. Otherwise, 9.5 out of 10. Fantastic episode. I enjoyed every single moment of it. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. My friends, I'll see you guys next week for episode 3, where next week is called Partner. So I assume, because it's just in his nature, Belle will follow through with trying to save Seer as he begins to kind of learn more. And eventually she is going to crack and tell him, and he's going to have to face down the Freya, not only the Freya familia, but Freya herself. And that's kind of my prediction of the whole season panning out. So, yeah. All right, my friends. I'm going to see you guys next week. Peace out.